what I really hate about the interface? The boss tile is exactly the same color as the act tiles. So it looks exactly the same. And when I first played the game, I was confused because I thought that I unlocked Act 3, and it said that I unlocked an act, but it turned out that I just unlocked a boss tile. So that's weird. Anyways, this is a really tedious boss that can drag on forever, and I had to look up a guide to figure out how to beat it when I first played the game. It could take well over 5 minutes to beat it. You can beat it in under a minute. Well, just over a minute more like. But still, it's really unintuitive. The only way you can damage the boss is to damage the yellow orbs, and the only way you can do that is to get the drill wisp, and the only way you can do that is to boost into the drills. But not now, because suddenly you apparently can only boost into them from the back, and only at certain times. And the blue orbs that you need to damage love staying blue and electrified, cheating you out of hits. My least favorite thing about this boss is that it can heal itself. Fuck bosses that can heal themselves. And I think this might be the first time they've ever had a boss that can heal itself in a Sonic game. For good reason. It's so easy to lose all your rings and then not be able to get them back. And like you're constantly running into the orb, and you can end up dying easily because of that. This boss can drag out for an eternity. And again, it's a boss that I think you actually need to boost in order to beat it. So if your rush instincts are telling you that you can't boost, god damn it, I did not want to go back up there. The drill wisp controls really terribly. Right there, that arrow is pointing down to the orbs that are below the arena. So, thanks game, thanks for that. That helped me. And it's nearly impossible to dodge the drills because they're so gigantic. And they have such a large damaging thing that they create in front of them. The blue orbs pretty much stay electrified almost all the time, so it's very easy to run out of wisp energy when you're waiting for them to become vulnerable again. And the boss loves to completely heal itself and undo all the work that you did to it. Like, the only way you can damage it reliably is with one way that isn't even very reliable because, look, it turned orange for a very tiny amount of time. The only way you can damage them is to happen to already be running into the orbs. And you pretty much have to take a bunch of hits because the orbs are almost always blue. And like, you progress to a different phase of the boss fight. And you can tell because the screen is flashing red and he's doing a new attack. So, his health bar being full at this point is confusing. It's like he fully restores all of his health, except he hasn't been reset to the very beginning. That's confusing. They don't put nearly enough rings in this area. It's a good thing that the camera is completely panned out when you're underwater, so you can actually see where you're going. Which makes me wonder why they didn't do that for the whole game. But like, there aren't nearly enough rings underwater, and just everything about this boss is obnoxious. Tails was actually based on the mythological Japanese creature called the kitsune, which is a two-tailed fox. And as soon as it gets to be like 100 years old, it can start growing more tails, like up to 9 tails from 2. And like there's a lot of interesting things about kitsune, like some of which Tails doesn't qualify for and some of which he does. Kitsune are known for being able to fly, check, and they're known for their very heightened superior intelligence. So, Tails is a genius. Check right there. They're also known for being afraid of dogs, which isn't really true for Tails since, like, in the Archie comics and Tails' Adventure, he made a a teapup robot that was a mechanical dog. Or I guess it was more like a fox that just barked like a dog and acted like one. They can either be nice or mischievous pranksters and thieves. Kitsune can also turn into humans and like disguise themselves by wearing a mask over their head made of wood or something. And they can often be scared out of their human form by their fear of dogs. And Kitsune also have like electricity or fire powers, and there's all sorts of different elements of Kitsune foxes. Like there's all the traditional elements, and then there's also some cool ones like void and time and life and spirit. Like there's Kitsune that can influence a person's mind with music and stuff. And they get their energy from like various sources, like a fire Kitsune gets their energy from the sun and stuff like that. Like, it's pretty interesting. I think Tails might be an air Kitsune if anything, since he can fly. And you'll notice that he likes to name his planes with wind-themed names, like the Tornado. And even when he was making watercrafts, he named his watercrafts after wind-themed names, like the Ocean Tornado, the Magma Hurricane, and the Wave Cyclone, and the Deep Typhoon. Even though they were going through the water, not the wind. So that's pretty interesting. It's ironic that Sonic is the character who has like the sonic wind power, not Tails then. Because with that logic, you'd think Tails would be even better at it. Although Tails also does have a electricity power, where he can, like in Sonic Heroes, he can use something called Thundershoot, where he surrounds the characters with electricity and throws them. Although, if he was a lightning Kitsune, well, I usually call them Kitsunes because that's how it's spelled. But if he was a lightning Kitsune, he would probably appreciate storms because he gets energy from them and know when they're coming rather than being afraid of them. This is another pointless cutscene. At least it does build suspense with how Yacker, maybe it's Yacker that we're talking about, disappears. I don't know, it's confusing. This is probably the hardest wisp to touch. It's a good thing that the wisps always, they go on a set path. So that's good. It can make it easy to tap them. But you pretty much have to be constantly tapping one part of the screen and hope you get lucky. The Laser Wisp very clearly moves a lot faster than Sonic does. So I'm not really sure. I guess he was just lying to save his pride. Because the Laser Wisp clearly shoots you a lot faster than he can boost. Hell, it makes Sonic's boost look slow in comparison, at least in the 2D games. Anyways, this is Aquarium Park, and this is actually a pretty fun level, but I found it pretty tedious when I first played it. It dragged on for 4.5 minutes, and that was just the first act. I like the circular school of fish things. They're like the wheels in Cybertrack, but done right. Like, all you have to do is time jumping off them at the right time, and you jump the right way. It's like it has an anti-gravity gimmick, but it's done right. This level forces you to use the Laser Wisp, but not nearly as much as Colors Wii did. Basically, there's these laser gates that you Laser Wisp into, and that will shoot you outwards. And you can also use the Drill Wisp here, and you only have the Drill Wisp here if you already went through Planet Wisp first, which I didn't, because when I first played the game, I assumed Planet Wisp was the final level, because it was named Planet Wisp. So I didn't have the Drill Wisp here to have fun with. The Drill Wisp is a lot more fun underwater, but it's still pretty cheap the way it controls and the way the spike balls are. But yeah, this is a pretty fun level when you get used to it. The Laser Wisp is practically impossible to aim wherever you want. Like, it's not as simple as you hold the direction that you want it to go in, and it goes in that exact direction. It's more like it'll just randomly decide to go wherever it wants. So, it's pretty tedious to control. You could drill through these schoolfish with the drill wisp, and that's necessary for getting a red ring at some point. I was able to get all of the red rings in one of the acts of this level. I think it was the second one. But it can be annoying to get that schoolfish wisp, that schoolfish red ring. Because if you miss the drill wisp, then you have to go all the way back, and I ended up replaying the whole level just to get that one red ring. I never did get all of the red rings in the game. Some of the red rings are restrained to missions, and you have to beat a mission in order to keep the red ring after you get it, which is stupid. Beating the missions is hard enough as it is without taking your time to get a red ring when you're already on a strict time limit as it is. You can use the laser wisp to damage the enemies. The enemies here are pretty annoying, specifically the Orbinauts. I homing attacked and it air dashed. Look, it created the targeting reticule, but it still made me air dash. Thankfully you have these crystals to send you on a set scripted path, but that's if you manage to aim into them. It's not like Colors Wii where it shows you where you're going to go. Like, it shows you the path. Here, it just shows you a little beam of light, and it actually works much better in Generation 3DS, where it shows a tiny little beam of green light projecting out from it, and you can just use the control pad to aim it exactly where you want by rotating around to the right. Like, it's just sad that Generation 3DS is so much better at the laser wisp than this game. Like you got the burst wisp, which is kind of awkward to control, but is alright. The white wisp is obviously good. The drill wisp sucks. And then you got the laser wisp, which is only fun when it decides to work out for you. The purple wisp is awesome, but also controls kind of badly. And the rocket wisp is good. So yeah, most of the wisps in this game suck. But it's good that they're there to spice up the levels rather than just boosting to the right and that's it. Especially since I don't get much thrills from this game to begin with, so what's the point of the speed? I got more thrills from the classic Sonic games. I don't know, something about it just doesn't really give me that much thrills. You don't even seem to go all that fast, even without the slowdown in mind. I feel like these platforms could be a little lower, and that would have been more fun. Sonic Game World was something I haven't talked about yet when it comes to the Sonic games. And Sonic Game World was basically a game for the Sega Pico, which is a handheld for really young children that had an attached sort of stylus you put on a screen to interact with the game with. It was like Nintendo DS, only lame. Sonic Game World was just a simple minigame collection. The minigames it offered either mind-numbingly easy or generic and weren't really that fun. And on the higher difficulty setting, the minigames were nearly impossible. You're really not missing anything if you haven't played it. The premise of Sonic Game World was that Sonic and Tails and Amy went to an amusement park, and they could talk to the player in dialogue boxes, breaking the fourth wall, saying pointless things. And what can also talk to you are regular-looking animals that can talk for some reason. The dialogue can be really patronizing to your intelligence. Like, one of the animals literally says, "I wonder what type of animal Sonic the Hedgehog is." And you think he's being sarcastic, But later, he gives you the answer that he's a hedgehog as a sort of brilliant revelation. That spike pit actually isn't really that bad because you could boost on the water, and you can't start boosting on the surface of the water just by starting to boost while you're falling towards it, which is pretty good. But anyways, I saw Sonic Game World along with Tales from the Music Maker on the HFC Sonic-a-thon. I don't really think it's worth playing. You can only really play it with an emulator these days. An emulator that can like change the page and stuff. It and the Tales game were released pretty soon after Sonic Drift. And it was a game developed by Aspect Co., just like Sonic Triple Trouble. And for some reason it was never released in Europe. Unfortunately, in Sonic Game World's case, non-educational content like gambling, fortune-telling, fantasy violence, and rock, paper, scissors were omitted from the American release of the game. So the entire third page of the Japanese version of Sonic Game World was omitted, with the remaining games from it in different places entirely. The third page in the American version was replaced with the drawing page, where you could like have pictures of Sonic there, and you could like color them badly to make like Sonic fan characters of your own, and like you could also like make a bunch of rings appear on the drawing page. This is a nice gimmick, I guess, but you move way too fast on it, especially on the actual DS without the slowdown. So it's pretty easy to run into the spike balls. The only reason I was doing so well was because of all the slowdown. And there's also the fact that there's still level between the two screens. So there's that, making it a little cheap. But yeah, it's a really nice gimmick. I'm glad it's there. You have to use it to get one of the red rings, which is kind of bullshit, to be honest.